Newsflash, the Raptors are very good, and a lot has been made of the Raptors' excellent offense to start the year. Basically, every rotation player has average to elite scoring efficiency. They pass the ball a ton, and they score from a lot of different places with a lot of different players. Brandon Ingram is the NBA's best mid-range scorer. RJ Barrett is one of the best cutters in the league. Quickly is on a stretch of like 45% shooting from downtown, and Scotty Barnes is filling in wherever available and driving a lot of transition offense. On top of all of that, Jakob is shooting 74% from the field. Things are going great. They're a top 10 team on both sides of the floor. Cleaning the glass has them at 5th in offense, 6th in defense, and 3rd in half-court offense. These are the stats of the outcomes, and I have a couple more for you. The Raptors are top 5 scoring out of baseline out-of-bounds plays, and they are the best team in the league when it comes to scoring out of sideline out-of-bounds plays. I'm going to highlight the play the Raptors are running most often and the play that makes them the best at it in the NBA. So this play is built around rip screens, split action, and a pin down. And there's a few built-in counters for the Raptors. It's designed so that there's no easy decisions for the defense, no matter what they choose. And a lot of pieces of this play can change, but they run it pretty much exclusively with Emmanuel Quickly because his skill set is really what makes it work. The first action of this play is always a rip screen for Emmanuel Quickly to get him below the free throw line to set up everything that comes afterwards. And the next sequence is a rip screen on the weak side of the floor. And a lot of teams will just switch this or shade over to it because you don't want to give up a free layup off of a back screen. But in case you want to see bad defense, this is the Mavericks losing the thread on it. But if you want to see bad defense, here's the Mavericks losing the thread on it. Partially because they didn't want to switch Klay Thompson onto Brandon Ingram. Partially because they are shading so hard to the quickly part of the action, and RJ Barrett comes wide open under the rim. Now, most times what's going to happen is this rip screen is going to result in nothing. What happens most often, though, is that the screener will flash upwards and catch the ball for the real action that the Raptors end up running most often. And this is basically testing out if the defense wants to put guard defenders on wing scores. A lot of times they don't because the Raptors are really good at scoring over mismatches. So Emmanuel Quickly, given the tension that the defense is preparing for, is able to come loose off of pin down for a triple here. So now that we've tested what the defense is willing to switch, we can also test how high they want to play their big. With Jared Allen and Joel Embiid, these guys don't want to come too high. They want to protect the paint. So that means that Quickly gets to come off this screen very clear, and he'll have room to shoot. And he's a fantastic three-point shooter. If it's a mobile big like Nick Claxton who's going to try and step out and chase him, it means that Quickly gets to turn it downhill with his bigs in motion with him and attack a rim with much worse rim protection. And in my mind, the Rockets defended this play the best of any team so far. And it's because they have the guys to switch across every single action. You know, KD and Thompson switch the first rip screen. Then Okogie and Jabari Smith comfortably switch the next screen between Quickly and Barnes. And it's a credit to Barnes to go get the ball, and they run a pinch post action. It's part of the triangle offense. They go to it a lot. You may have noticed the Raptors have gotten a lot of late clutch time buckets with this pinch post play. They go to this as a means to punish the mismatch. Okogie is not as much of a mismatch as a lot of guys who will be matched up against quickly if teams want to switch. But Scotty does manage to score in what's a pretty messy play and a tough shot, but that's probably the most likely way to stop this. And I really like this play because not a lot of teams have the depth of defenders to guard up against all of the Raptors forwards. That means that they get to mismatch hunt, and they use Quickly's motion, his threat as a three-point shooter, and his ability to, draw smaller defenders because he's a point guard to get those switches or threaten with those switches so that teams have to play softer elsewhere and so that there's room on the court to score. This is really well designed by Darko. I don't know if he picked it up from somewhere else, but it fits the Raptors' talent extremely well. It puts pressure on the defense in a lot of different ways. And more than anything, it is their most common play, and they are the best team in the NBA when it comes to scoring out of sidelines, out of bounds plays. They are making it work. Hell yeah. But that's really it. I just wanted to break down something I've been seeing and paying attention to, and a play that I really like. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you see this while you're watching the game, point it out like, the Leo meme. Hey, that's basketball. This is how the Raptors make it work. Tell your friends, like, this is what they're trying to do. But they took this away, so they did this instead. Basketball, it's always counterpunching, always counterpunching. Feel free to tweet at me as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And I hope you walk away being like, hell yeah, well done by the Raptors. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hype, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the flip side, man. Whether you got into this in the morning or at night, have a blessed day and goodbye.